Tales from the Casino Pit, a podcast where we share stories with people from the casino industry. Now, here's your cast: John, Mike, Danielle, Michelle, Pippa, and Jay.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the podcast Tales from the Casino Pit. My name is Jay, and blah 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 blah. Social media, blah blah blah. There it is. Yeah, let's just change up our intro today. My co-host, as always, Mr.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sorry, I just got like right then. It was like I had a jingle. It's like, oh, hey, everybody, it's John. How's it going? Looking forward to chatting tonight. Funny things. A couple of funny things happened yesterday, so I'm kind of looking forward to kind of chatting about it.
All right, as well as John, we also have...
It's Mike. I'm looking forward to hearing the funny stories, so let's see. Right. We'll be entertained.
Yeah. Hold on, let's hit our comments first. Guess who?
Yay, Donald!
Hey.
G-Day. G-Day to you as well. All right.
Good day, Mike.
Okay, John, well, you know what? This is a Wednesday. Why don't we start off with your wonderful story?
I know it was wonderful. So, well, two things weird happened yesterday. So I was coming home from work, and I don't know if anyone knows Edmonton. So I was downtown, and I was driving up 97th Street, and there's this one building, used to be the old Remand Center by the new museum, and it kind of goes down a little bit of a hill, and there's a bridge, and then once you go into the bridge, it's like kind of like a park, a little small park on the other side of the bridge. So I'm coming down there, and it's rush hour, so it's going slow. And as we come under the bridge, and I'm driving literally, I don't know, 20 kilometers an hour because it's all backed up, it's rush hour. So I come under the bridge, and as I come up, and I'm like, what the heck? That's a naked bum. So like an ass. So I was like, that lady has her ass out. And I was like, what? The next second is like, she's having sex. I was like, what the hell is going on? Literally, the sidewalk is here. There's some grass, and she's there. Her and this guy, and they're like having sex at like 4:30 in the afternoon. I was like, what the hell is going on? And then there's this old lady, and I swear to God, it was the weirdest thing ever. So this old lady's walking along, and she's walking along, and she had a purse like this. She looks like that, sees it, and she flips up her purse like that and carries on walking. Didn't even break step. And it was like, oh my God. That was like the weirdest salute ever. And they didn't even stop this. It's rush hour. And I'm like, the hell are they doing? And I was like, literally, I was just like, please don't make me. You know, like sometimes you stop a long time and waiting. I was just like, I just don't want to. I just don't want to stop. I just don't want to stop. Keep going. But it was such a weird thing. That was the weirdest thing I've seen in downtown for a long time. And then today, when I drove back, I was like, I have to leave at a different time. I really don't want to see that. If they're doing this like, well, same time tomorrow. Nope. No. So I left even earlier than I usually do. That was the weird. That was one weird incident, but I'll tell you the one after.
So there was multiple.
Was that the first time that you've seen that live in public?
On a side street.
Okay.
It was like, what the hell is going on? Like, do you know what? Because it took a couple of seconds to be like, for me to kind of like recognize what was happening. Literally, it was like 15 feet away from me on the grass next to the sidewalk. I was like, the hell is going, you know, like, because it's something you don't expect, right? So I was like driving my truck and like, oh, what's that? What? And he's like, no, don't. Yeah. Oh my God. It was so strange.
Oh man. Mike, have you ever seen something like that?
I've been to Amsterdam.
Okay, well, yeah.
No.
I mean,
nothing
here...
like that on the street. No, I don't think so. That would be that'd probably stick in the memory, right?
Yeah,
oh yeah.
But that old lady, she didn't even break step. She was like walking out. I went, whoo, with a purse, and then just kept going. Yeah, it was like the weirdest odd salute. Like, whoa, like, oh yeah. The purse was like, wah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Never entertaining Edmonton.
No doubt.
Oh, can I tell you the second one? Because the second one is weird. Right? So,
okay.
So later on, probably a couple of hours later, I'm driving my son to soccer practice, right? And it's in the West End. That's actually close to West Edmonton Mall. So I'm on the Henday and I'm driving around and I'm doing a speed limit. So I'm driving. And then the next minute, I see like a truck behind me and it's a cop truck. So all the lights are going. I'm like, oh, I'll change lanes. So I'm in the outside lane. So I change into the middle and he comes behind me. I'm like, what the hell? I'm being pulled over. So I go onto the next lane and then I pull onto the shoulder and I'm like, and the truck comes right behind me. And I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I was doing a speed limit. Why am I getting pulled over? So anyway, so the cop comes out and he walks over and then he turns and he's all mad. And I'm looking, I'm like, conservation officer is on his badge, right? And he goes, did you see? And he was really angry. He goes, did you see me pull a guy over on the side there? I was like, no, man, I didn't see you. I'm really sorry. He goes, you didn't see the big truck with the flashing lights? I was like, no, I didn't see him. I swear to God. And my son's there. And I'm like, honestly, I said, I didn't see it. I was just driving speed limit. And he was like, you're supposed to do 60. And I was like, yeah, no, I said, but I didn't see you. I'm really sorry. And he's like, license, he goes, license and registration. And I really wanted to say, is that driver's license or fishing license? But I thought, shut up, John, you're going to get a ticket. So I was like, okay, so I got it and I passed it over to him. And then he looked at it and he goes, your insurance is out of date. It's expired September. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to put it in my truck. And I was like, oh my God. So then he took off for like 10 minutes and sat in the truck. And then so I'm waiting for him to come back, and he comes back, and then he's like, "Are you related to Bill Holland?" I'm like, "I don't know who that is." I said, "I'm not related to him." And he's like, "Oh, where you going?" I told him where I was going, and then he started to be really nice. He goes, "You know what? I'm going to lay you off with a warning this time. You can carry on and go to you." And I was like, "This is so weird." And then he got in, and then he took off, and then and he just sped off, and then I went to drop my son off. And the funny thing is, loads of his friends drove past us while we were on the side of the road and we're like, why were you pulled over by a conservation officer on the Henday? And then he was like, I don't know. And like the coach was there and like, did they check if you had fish or something? Or the fishing license was expired? I was like, and my son's like, I don't know. And they just pulled us over. Yeah. So so when we dropped him off, I was like, okay, what does a conservation officer do? I didn't even know what they did. I was like, what? I didn't know they could pull you over on the Henday, apparently.
Yeah, there would be no. I would have no idea that a conservation officer could pull you over.
Yeah, at the end he was a nice guy, but I was like,
yeah,
what the hell? It was just the weirdest thing. I was like, I was like, what? I swear to God, like sometimes when you're like, this would be funny, but I shouldn't say it.
oh. Sometimes you gotta bite the bullet. I think Lars has a good story about that too, honestly. But John, yeah, these stories to you. I mean, seriously, that's crazy.
Yeah, yesterday was an odd day. It was really strange.
Just hit up a couple comments here. We have Daryl saying take the LRT, John.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I guess Daryl's seen or participated in things that are happening there on the LRT.
Harold, what have you seen on the LRT?
Yeah.
Shenanigans. And this is Nicola. Hi, Nicola. Nicola says, John, you're a magnet to this stuff. Your stories are hilarious. Oh, boy. Hey, one more. Hello, Vince in the East Coast. Nice to see you back.
Hey, Vince, how's it going?
Vince says, you guys are going to be famous. Sure, yeah.
Thanks,
Edmonton
Vince.
famous.
Yeah.
Vince also says Fedora's in play tonight. There you go.
Because I had a couple. I'm going to start rotating. I had another hat actually I was going to wear today, but I forgot it in the car and it was getting late, so I didn't want to go out and get it.
Oh, here, I have a hat, Mike.
Next week.
Just for you. This is a hat that I would wear. So let me just stand up quickly and put this on. All right, check that out.
That's nice. A Guy Ferrari, Guy Fieri hat.
Exactly.
This was my hair in 1998 when I dyed it 6 times 1 month and just treated it like douchebag hair. Can't wear my Ed Hardy t-shirt and
the dyed hair look. Yeah, that was a look, definitely. You don't have to bring up photos.
Yeah, no photos for that, please. Actually, no, my hair wasn't like that. It was really was cut in a penis shape, and yeah, that wasn't fun. And so I'm glad it's not there anymore.
I've only ever, well, when I had hair, I was about 17, and me and my friends were going to go out, and my buddy was like, "Oh, John, let's dye our, like, let me dye your hair." I was like, his sister was like a hairdresser, and I was like, "I don't know what." He goes, "Let's do it." I'm like, "Okay." So I had blonde hair, so he dyed my hair black, right, like jet black. So this was like 85, I guess, at the time. And then he was, like he sassed around, like he didn't have a clue, I didn't have a clue, and he's just doing it. And he's like, as he's running, he's like, "Oh, John, I'm going to grow a beard and a mustache and big eyebrows if this dye." He's like, "Whatever." So we're goofing around, having a drink. This is like a Saturday night before we go out to the clubs. And so we washed it all off. And I had an allergic reaction to the dye. So whatever that dye was on my face was this big red rash. It was like, oh my God, it looked ridiculous. So we went out. So we went to the bars, whatever. And my friend was like, "We should try and pick up girls." I was like, "Okay, have a few drinks," and you think, "Oh, I can go talk to girls." And literally every time we talk to the girls, they turn around, they see me, and they go, I just look highly contagious. It was like, so I was like, "Nah, I'm not going to meet the girl today."
Oh, well, that's funny. Vince says Jet Black gets all the chicks back in 85.
Yeah, they probably did, but not when you have this allergic reaction and you just look like, you're highly contagious. Yeah.
That's funny. Daryl says there are things on the LRT that you can never unsee.
Therapy session on Saturday.
Yeah. When I used to work in London, like the UK London, when I was 23, so a long time ago, I used to get the LRT to work, right? Like the tube, right? So you get it to work. I remember one time, me and my friends are coming back from the bar, excuse me. And so we're in the first train, and it stopped at a station, and the door opened. The driver came out, and he shouts down the train, "Yo, stop that now!" So everyone's like, "What's happening? Something's happening." That the driver's come out of his little, driving spot, and he's pointing down, and then he storms down like the train, right? So we're looking like, "Oh my God, what's going to happen?" And then he stopped, did nothing, talked to nobody, turned around, and then walked back into his little box, closed the door, and then carried on driving the train. And we were like, "Oh my God, the crazy guy on the train is driving the train." So me and my friend were like, "Next stop, next stop, you're never going to get out. This guy is crazy." Like you expect, especially like 11 o'clock when the bar's closing up, you expect there to be crazy people, like on the bus or the train, whatever. But how the guy driving it, we're like, "Wow, this is a bit of a shock."
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's great.
That's awesome.
Daryl, can you relate?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Daryl was the driver.
All right, so it's a Wednesday today. This is normally the days that we're taping. Yeah, with a cassette tape, 8-track, things like that. Whenever we're doing our podcast, we try to do it on a Wednesday evening. And this Saturday, we're actually having a function for the Casino Industry Canada group. So we have our get together, and I think I have 2 or 3 prime ribs left, which is really cool. So thank you everyone for the support. I booked how many? I booked 70. I think I booked 70 prime ribs. So to get that many people out to support this trial run for a private event, which we didn't really advertise other than on this, with the few people that are here in Edmonton, the few people that listen to the podcast and, that are part of that group. So I'm really happy to bring that small group out, and it's people that we know, which is really nice. And yeah, I just, I'm really happy with that. So I have like 2 left, and I think they may get sold tonight. The other thing that, before we continue, I just wanted to show you, because we didn't really advertise this part, you get a match play. So like Tony's like, "Here, take this, show it off." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So you get this match play coupon. I can't play it, obviously. He needs to sign it off because I got 2. So I'll play red and black.
So yeah, for $40, you take that match play, you win the match play, you make $10 and get a prime rib meal.
And you also get a free drink. And we're also giving prizes away, so Lisa just dropped one off. So Lisa, thank you for that prize. So I got one prize there. I got three more coming in. And then Wyatt gave us a bunch of money to give away. So that was really cool. And some other stuff. So I'm pretty excited about the draws. That's going to be fun. And I'm excited to see a lot of old faces, and I'm excited for us to take some photos. I don't know if we can get the roulette table like we wanted to, but that's okay. But
when you say
I know.
old faces, you just mean old, like you're not like, oh, you're gonna see John, he's old. It's not like a minimum age. You have to be at least 50 to get in. It's like, suppers at 3:30, bed by 5.
Sorry, before
and walkers to the side.
Daryl, sorry, with the regards to the LRT story, that driver would have seen something on the cameras that concerned him, and no, it wasn't me. And he says, "Don't say old, just say Daryl."
Daryl, if you have a copy of that picture, you should bring it. You know which picture I'm talking about.
I think we showed it when you were off, actually. So.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I bought these $8. Jeez, for these. Anyways, I think I only need 60, and I think there's like 200 in here, but whatever. Use it for something else. That's for the draws. So I'm trying to figure this out. I've got the next 2 days off, so thank goodness for holidays. So I'm gonna set a lot of stuff up. We have a couple things for entertainment, so I'm kind of excited about that. And then we have Steve DJing, so that's really cool. Quick comment from Kevin. Hey, Kevin. John, do you know this guy?
Kevin?
15.
Yeah, Kevin is.
I think I said 10. Yeah, 15.
Yeah, Kevin is awesome. I worked with Kevin on the Royal Caribbean. We did a contract together, and we had maybe did two contracts together, but we had so much fun together. Kevin's a great guy. Hopefully he will come on here soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Maybe
Kevin,
a couple weeks.
Yeah. Tell us some John stories, the ones that he hasn't told.
Yeah. John was never like that. I don't know where these stories are coming from.
Yeah.
No, a lot of drugs, okay?
He just stayed in his cabin. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's doing
He was a good
Sudokus
Catholic
and
boy. He never drank at all.
Kevin says just
Exactly,
one.
yeah, just one. It was a really big one, though.
That's so funny. A couple of things, Mike. Hey, I know it's the end of summer, and I don't know how much you're going to be barbecuing, but I found this for you. It's just a nice little apron with like some suits on it.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, no, I'm going to be barbecuing. Not this weekend, obviously, but next weekend. I think the final brisket will go in. Yeah, depending on weather.
Yeah, make some good brisket. That's for sure.
Yeah, you guys should come over, actually.
Yeah, well, we were going to do this episode at your house, but you didn't open the door, so.
Exactly.
We're knocking.
It got real awkward. Yeah. We could see you through the hole. We're like, he's there. We know he's there.
I did invite them over, but when they came over, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I've got second thoughts, actually. So kind of lifting the blinds up, peeking, and no.
So, hey, just one quick thing. I grabbed this because I needed to remind myself, but someone actually reached out to me, and they were part of a TV show on FX called Snowfall, and they actually asked for some advice. So they sent out a message to me and said, hey, we need to get some advice about Pai Gow. And I'm like, okay. Well, in the script, they have a scene where she's playing Pai Gow cards, but the director's like, no, make it tiles because it's way cooler. I'm like, oh, I agree with that. So then she started asking me all these questions, and I'm like, wow, this is going to be really cool. So hopefully I gave her some good feedback. There's some scenes that she wants to do, and you know how we are, right? Because we're so critical of like any casino scenes, right? So
Oh yeah.
I like spent a lot of time. I'm like, okay, well, this is how you're gonna like do this and set these hands up and like, you know, but the thing is like she's gonna write it because she's the writer, but then now there's gonna be an expert. So they're in Vegas, so they're filming like in an actual casino and doing all this stuff. So I think hopefully it'll be like really good advice. I'm sure because they have an expert there that day. So that expert will be like, okay, this is what you do. This is what the script says. Do it like this, set it like this. This is allowed. And I'm hoping that I didn't like mess it up, right? Because then the guy could be like, what the hell is this guy talking about? You know? So,
It would have been really funny if you got it to put the towels the wrong way. So you're like, you have to feel them and you don't know. So everybody sees them, but not you don't. You know? Just, you know, okay, you have those towels. Oh, okay.
First of all, you call them dominoes. Sit down. They're
Exactly.
dominoes.
Yeah. And you line them up like dominoes. That's how you play it.
Right?
yeah. I told her it's like, oh, well, there's some things that, you know, like players do when they like feel tiles and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, well, that sounds really cool. I'm like, I'll show you some videos. I really wanted to like tell her it's like, oh, you know what? I know a guy that does all these moves as a dealer. Maybe you should take that guy in because he's like Simoning, right? Like bring him in and then have him do all this stuff. Have him do like a pile driver with the tiles.
Oh, no, yeah, that'd be so cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's cool. You know, at least we can get some Alberta flavor there. And she's like, where are you in? Like, you know, where are you living? And I was like, oh, I'm up in Canada. And she's like, oh, that kind of sucks because we could fly you down. And I'm like, oh, damn it. That would have been really cool to like go down. But
You'd be like, WestJet's really cheap.
yeah.
Exactly. It's okay.
It's cheap.
I'll
I
sleep
got a
in a
comp
car.
room.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't think they pay Canadians. So whatever. That's fine.
It's still
But
pretty
yeah.
cool, though.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have a little bit of touch and some sort of, you know, on a TV show. So I don't know. Some
Yeah, that's
Alberta,
good.
some Alberta roots.
No, that's really
No, it's
cool.
us. It's all of us
That is
together.
really cool.
We learn this game together, so it's not just
Oh,
me.
Pygo, I think I dealt it like 3 times. Well, 3, yeah. So I mean, when you think of it, 3 times, if you boil that down to actually times dealing, it was like 1 day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
That reminds me, I think we got to bring back our Pygout challenge. I think we stalled a little bit on that, so we gotta bring that back.
Yeah, it's just, Rob's been the champion for I was like 2 years. It's like it's almost as realistic as like wrestling, right? So yeah, I think someone should challenge him for the title. I was thinking about that, and I'm kind of excited to kind of bring it back. I have a couple more cameras. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and yeah, we'll end up doing that. It's hard though, you know. I have a baby, and she's 0.
That's true.
So it's like, do you really want to hear her on the table?
I made her cry. I made her cry on Saturday, actually.
Yeah, you
so.
sure did. Did I tell you that story on the ships where this guy from New York, he came in and he's playing Caribbean stud and he's got a baby with him. And the soup comes up. It's like, sir, you can't bring your baby in the casino. It was Simon that said that, right? And he's like, what's the baby gonna do? Is the baby counting cards? Oh my god, this baby's tracking cards. Okay, what's the count, baby? What's the count? Come on, tell me what the count is. I'm like, oh my god, this guy, honestly.
Did they have
So
it in like
good.
the baby carry? You know, like in Hangover?
Yeah, no, that would have been
Hangover?
so funny. Where a baby's just sticking out. And it's
Exactly,
just
yeah. Just see the head.
like, here, blow the dice, blow the dice.
Come on, baby's gonna shake dice. Baby needs to shoot.
Oh my god. Oh jeez, that is so funny.
Okay, I'm gonna get a glass of water really quickly. I'll be right back.
Let's just boot this guy off of the. It's like,
It's funny
Go.
you should say that. I mean, like the first ship that I worked on for Royal Caribbean was I think it was the Legend, and I think it was that one. They used to have a slot machine in the washroom in the casino, and it was called the Royal Flush. And the only really, it was an awkward place. Nobody wants to play slots in there. So the only people who really used to play it were the cleaners. They would just go in, and you look around, it's okay, we're playing the slot machine. It was so funny.
oh man, I didn't know that they did that. That's hilarious. I can't.
Yeah, Yeah, it was either the Legend or the Splendor, one of the two. It was like first or second ship that I worked on ahead of. It was like, that's a really but I just love the pan in like Royal Flush and you're in the washroom.
It'd be so bad if it was like in the stall, like you'd close the door and it would be in front.
The next
and
door
just
choose like keep it up. Yeah. Can you split it 20? Under the door. You're like, can you split 20? I don't want to put it all in. This thing keeps spitting out my 20. How about you?
Oh man. I need one of those cards, those 10-minute cards to put on here just because. It's like, I'll be right back.
You're knocking on the door. How long are you going to be in there?
Oh my god. Funny. Vince says, hard to find a babysitter on the ship.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I would bring a baby on the ship. That'd be crazy.
But you can guarantee that guy's wife was like, it's your turn to look after the baby. You got to be responsible. And he's like, okay, I'll do that. She went off to the spa, doing a haircut. Oh, he's so great, my husband. He volunteered to take the baby. And he's like, poof, right in the casino. Imagine that, though. Great. He's there drinking. He's just on the baby's head.
Oh, man. I never really thought of, well, it's like the guy's from New York. Okay, I guess he can do whatever he wants in New York. Let him do it. It's fine.
like I'm sure he's like knows that like there's not a casino anywhere. But like, oh, feel free to bring your child in and you know this smoky environment and play and gamble around it.
Exactly.
But in all honesty, though, it's probably better. Like we've all seen it where they would just drop the kids off outside, say, just stand here. Daddy's going to go in there and win rent money. I'll be right back. You know, and they just, and all of a sudden, surveillance like, can someone pick up the child, Justin, blah, 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 blah. You know, all those times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me hit this one comment here. Oh, look who it is.
Danny.
Danny says, good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello. All F at Danny. Just kidding. I know what you're saying, Danny. All day, Danny.
All day, Danny.
See you soon.
All day, Danny's working.
All right, all day,
working.
Danny.
She's working like, she's working like 18 in a row or something like that. That's crazy. Oh, maybe it's just 8, but still, that's a lot.
Yeah, after 8, you're like, oh my God, I just lost count.
What was that one I was going to show? Oh, yeah, Mike, you want to talk about Paigao? This is how we're doing after 4 sessions. John, you better get in this one day. I know we do it on the weekend, and I know you're a busy guy, but you can see who's really good at Paigao here. Not me, that's for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have the expert ability to feel the tiles. It makes it a little different.
Oh, man. What was our title of this? I didn't even finish the intro. We're streaming over 3 platforms. Hello, everyone on Facebook. Hello, everybody in the Casino Industry Canada group. And hello, everybody on my beloved YouTube channel, Casino Dealer J. Thank you for being a part of that. And I think I'm at 699 friends. So that's a lot of family members, a lot of cousins that have subscribed. So thank you. I love that. That's amazing. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, the title. The title of this episode was Tickle a Brick, Don't Touch a Stick. What is your go-to stick call, Mr. Mike? Because you're all stoned
7 out,
here.
line away.
Yeah. 7.
I don't know.
Take money now.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a go-to because we had. I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously, back in the day, we had really good dice callers, right? And I learned from them. But it's the moments when you're on dice where you come up with just something relevant to the situation, to the person, to the punter, whatever, and it makes a difference. Like, I mean, do you remember? Was anybody there when I think Sterling was on stick and McTavish walked around? Craig McTavish. And he almost hit him with a stick. And I can't remember. I think it was might have been Arden going, or might have been John actually said 2 minutes for high sticking and just a little laugh, right? You know what I mean? Like
Oh, that's good.
it's one of those the spur of the moment things, but it works out perfectly. So I don't know if I have a go-to stick call.
All good. John has like 500. So
Well, it was just kind of like a compilation. Do you know what I mean? Like you'd run it for, okay, this would happen. I would just do this, and then just roll through this. It was kind of like a Rolodex. Okay, and then you just. But I agree with Mike. I always preferred it with like the more spontaneous stuff that happened in the game because it was more fun and interactive. Then, right? If something would happen, and it would, I remember we used to have this player, and he was terrible. He was a terrible human being. It was back in when he worked in London, but he gambled a lot of money, and he was just like, if like when, and because he gambled a lot of money, trainees would be scared of him because he was awful human being, and they'd be on stick, and if they weren't very good, he'd be like, "Get the corpse off the stick." It would just like ruin people's confidence, and he like, oh my god, you could see they're trying their best with like 7 a winner, and he'd be like, oh my, and he'd just be brutal, and he like, yeah. So I don't know. There's lots of calls. Some of them I didn't like. Some of them were like crude, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't like that one. So
nine
I didn't
Nina
really
Brown.
like.
Yeah. I totally got it. And the thing was, those were the ones though that got passed down, right? And it's just like, it just felt like watered down. The first people that say it, you're like, wow, that's hilarious. But then after, like, when someone else picks it up and someone else picks it up, I know we steal calls and everything, but holy cow, sometimes it's so bleh.
The one that I did like, because it made me laugh, was the one like 4 came hard and 4 came easy. I think we talked about last time how you say it, and because I have an accent, people were like, did you just say? And it made me laugh. And in all honesty, it was kind of like, I always thought it was kind of a ballsy call, not because it sounds rude. Like, I was like, hey, but you are. I was just swearing, And they'd be like, what did you say? Oh, I said 4 came hard. What did you hear? It's just, I don't know. But I think it was part of the entertainment. I think the challenge now is that people have moved away from the fact that gambling is an entertainment, right? For me, the whole purpose of being on the sick was just like, you're like a carny. You're entertaining, and like you guys were both really fun on the table, and you understand the concept. Like, yes, you call the numbers, but you're supposed to be fun and engaging, and people hear it and go, oh, that sounds like a fun and engaging, and they walk over and like, oh, this looks like fun to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, well, the thing that we got from you, John, was that you had to keep talking. So at first, when you first came in and you just kept talking, I was like, oh my God, like, how do I not have that much in my repertoire? So like Arden and I would be talking all the time about calls, and he'd be writing stuff down. He's like, hey, Jay, I just want to let you know, I was just like in the washroom over the weekend, and I was just sitting on the counter just writing down all these calls. And I'm like, wow, okay, sure. I'm not going to do that, but yeah, I'll write some stuff down too. And then the reason why we would write our calls is that there was no dead time, because it's like, to be like John, you want to be entertained, but you don't want to like be like repetitive either. So we always wanted to like find something different. And yeah, you're right, the spontaneous calls really help because we can just kick it in the middle of like a busy game, and like, people would laugh, you're like chanting their names and weird stuff like that, and you'd be hustling for tips too, and that would be really fun. It's like, and how much are you giving, and how much are you giving, and people would like get involved, and they would still like be a part of it. And that's the thing with that was just just making it exciting. So we would have a full like list of things to say. And yeah, sometimes it's, you just want to say it once, right? So like, I'm waiting for like a 41, 4 and a 1, and you're done. Just dumb shit like that. You're waiting for these numbers to come in, specific combinations. There's this one thing I was doing. There was this player, and I'm not gonna say who it is, but there was like a box, and I understood what I was doing, but I hated this guy so much, right? And I would just hates
who, the boxman or the player?
The player.
Okay.
It was a really bad player, and I'd be passing out like the dice, and I'd be humming, and I'd be like, and people are like, "What are you doing?" And the box is like, I get it, because I was singing. I forgot what the song was, but it was like, "Some say love is like a river," or something like that. So some say. So in Cantonese, some say some say is like 3-4, right?
3-4.
So I'm
Yeah.
I'm pushing out that and I'm singing that. And like only one person ever understood that. He's like, I got it. I know what you're doing. And it was like so cerebral, right? Like when people would get there. Oh man, it was like just stuff
That's
like
pretty
that made me. Oh, I had a lot of respect for people that were like that cerebral when it came to their calls, because you'd think and you'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense now. I get.
Do you know? I always found like if you ever want to stump somebody, I always found anyway, is start betting the don't, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't know what to say. You know, like all of a sudden, because you like a lot of people have like a million of all the calls that we've copied from everyone else, or you've created some, and you're like, oh, you're like, he's on the don't. I'm like, and you see him then and go, I don't know what to say. You know, like, what do I do? You know, what is he looking for? I'm like, oh, I don't want to say it because all those other people are going to get mad.
Yeah, dice out 8 might be great.
Yeah,
who knows?
yeah. Please roll a 7. Like, I didn't say. You know.
Oh man, that is funny.
You know what? Honestly, one of the favorite things I like to do was on day shift, on stick on day shift. And when you had the one player that comes up and bets minimal action, I like being the loudest person in the casino. Non-stop talking, just being loud. He'd bet like a $5 pass line and a 6 and 8, and you just shout and you yell. It probably annoyed the hell out of everybody. All the blue hairs in the casino were annoyed, but I thought it was entertaining.
And slam the stick down.
Yeah,
and
right. Just boom.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Well, we were loud. I know we weren't until John came, and then we were really loud because John was doing well. You did that move where you would grab the dice and it would be like 7 out, and you'd take the bowl and then you would slam the dice into the bowl with the other
just
3.
Snap it in there.
Pull it out and then snap your bowl back against the mirror. So it's like, and then you'd make this loud sound, and it's like, oh wow, I guess that's okay, because nobody would like contest you. It's like, we're gonna do that too. So then we ended up being so loud. Before we weren't. It was all about, oh, you got to be smooth and fast and stuff. But yeah, once John came in, it was like loud, yelling, screaming, fun.
Yeah, but in all honesty though, like I've told this before, when my first day on stick, I walked into this casino and it was like the kind of like the staff room was on the ground floor and we had to go upstairs to the casino, and there was a walk, like kind of like a, you know, where you were that night, right? So what rotation you're on. And I remember going in and I didn't check because I'm like, oh, I'm going to be on roulette. They only had 3 games and I didn't deal blackjack, so it was just, oh, I'm going to be on roulette. And they was like, oh my God, John, you're on craps tonight. I was like, what? So I went over and I looked, I was like, oh God. So then, you know, I started to sweat. And I remember walking up the stairs and we had to turn right and the table was kind of there on the right and you couldn't see it. There was that many people around it. And they, you know, and I was like, oh fuck, it was like the longest, like dead man walking. Me walking up to that table. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta go on a stick. And you know, literally at the time, you know, when he trained, the guy who trained us didn't really like literally 5 days, 5-hour training. I think it was 10 hours probably training max I had. So when I got on a stick, I literally could play the game. You know, it was ridiculous. And I remember I was so nervous. I told you the story where the boxman was like, you need to shout. You need to shout the number. And I was like, okay. So I kept going like, and then call the number. And it became a nervous habit. And he's like that, instantly picked it up. And he's like, why are you going before every call? And I was like, I can't help it. And I was just like a nervous habit, and it was like a tick, and I was like, 8, like easy, or you know, like 9 hard. And he's like, stop saying 9 hard. Oh, it was crazy. Oh my God. 5 easy.
Hard.
Like, what the hell? Yeah, you know, like all this stupid shit. And you're like, oh my God. And I was so nervous and I'm sweating. It was like the longest 20 minutes of my life when I, you know, going from the stick to their base, and I was like, Jesus Christ, what did I just do? You know, do I want to do this? But, you know, eventually it got better. But I think it's harder to be on stick, in all honesty, when it's quiet in the casino. You know what I mean? Because like, at least when it's loud, you can kind of like get into the atmosphere and it's like, oh, it's kind of like busy. But like when Mike said, it was like one player on the afternoon and is dead. And you're like, ugh, just want to go for the coffee and the smoke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, that's how I felt too. Yeah, that's probably like the hardest game ever, right? It's like one guy betting $5 on the pass line. It's like, well, can't make that exciting.
And then some other guy would come on the other side of the table. So you have two players, one on either end, betting like 5 each. You're like, really?
And you're like, dice out, new shooter. And the guy's like, no, pass. It was like back to like
one's
the
on
first.
one's on the pass, one's on the don't. They're like, and so they keep switching. Like, I don't like you either.
That's the worst. No, there's worse than that, but yeah. Oh man. All right, we're like 40 minutes in already, and we haven't really talked about anything except a couple of stories about. Oh, you're muted, John.
Yeah, it was a very profound statement I said while I was on mute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't repeat it. It was that profound.
Okay.
Well, I'm surprised that. No, I won't say that. Not everybody gets to see, people doing it in public. But I was DJing on White Ave, and so you park in the back of this nightclub. So I got parked in the back, and at the end of the night, there's people all over the streets and stuff. So I get out and I'm going like to my car, and then I look to my right, and these two people are like doing it against the wall. And it's like the door was loud, right? So you open the door, it's like, right? So we get in, I'm like I'm walking around to my car, and they're like right there, and I'm like, okay, cool, you guys, good night, and I like went in my car and I dropped it, and they didn't care. They didn't even like bat an eye. They didn't look at me or ever. They just kept going, and I just you can see that I turned the lights on, like your car lights turn on, and you're backing out, and then you're driving off, and they're still doing it. I'm just like, okay, this.
You should have walked by with your purse.
That's weekend.
Yeah. Weirdest salute ever.
I was privy to a lot of stuff like that, but that happened in the casinos too. So there was a lot of videos that were recorded and taken for storage. I don't know, for whatever reasons. I won't say what casino it was, but
training
or casinos. Yeah, sure. That's surveillance training, right? But with having, I can't give it up. But yeah, some places have a nightclub beside them, right? So then you would have the Halloween parties where people are all naked, because they don't want to pee in the washroom. They pee outside, and stuff gets shown. And in our casinos, in the little back hallways, they didn't realize that there's cameras there. So then people were, having fun. Not even in the back. On the slot machines. I think we talked about this before, like people sitting on each other's laps. So it's like, yeah, that's what liquor can do, I guess. So.
Can I tell you, like when I was an idiot, and after I'd left the Palace Casino, and they had the renovation, well, not the recent one, but the previous one, and I went, excuse me, and I went, I was in West Edge with, I can't remember who, but we ended up in the Palace Casino and we're gambling. And I went upstairs and I walked into a washroom, and I had a few drinks. I was probably, quite drunk. And I walked in this washroom and I was like, there's no urinals in here. What kind of a bathroom has no urinals? Oh my God, these people are so stupid. They can't even have a bathroom with no urinals in it. So I went into the stall, and thankfully there was nobody in there. So I went to the stall and, peed, come back out, and I still was like, these people, what kind of people designed this thing? And so then I walked out and I was like, smart people. I just walked into the women's washroom. It was just like, and then it was just like, they're smart. I'm just the idiot.
That's hilarious. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh my God. So stupid. I swear to God, I am.
Look, we lost Mike again. See. You want to talk about reliability, right? Just comes and goes as he pleases. Hey, you guys, I'm just going to cut out early, whatever.
He's like, time out. Yeah, bye-bye.
What was the question I had for everybody? Oh, yeah, this was something that I just saw in the post, and I wanted to ask everyone. I didn't even spell it right. What's TV show? What TV show has the best intro song? We can go a lot of ways with this, but I was really curious because some of the answers I was getting, and I think this was like an American post. So then all the Dukes of Hazzard, yeah, that's like the best one of all time. I'm like, I don't think that's the best one of all time. What do you think, John?
I'm not sure. I suppose it depends on like the iconic show, right? I mean, there's like, you know, when you hear it and you go, oh, I like that show, and you kind of, it's like Friends. Everyone knows Friends and Cheers and Seinfeld. Do you know what I mean? Like you hear and you're like, oh yeah, I really like that show. And then you get other ones that are like the annoying children's shows that you have to watch like on repeat for like thousands of hours. And you're like, oh my God. Tupi and Binu. I want to literally.
Oh,
you know what I mean? You're like, oh my God. Is that iconic? You know, like,
yeah.
You know, you want to punch yourself in the face when as soon as you hear it. I'm like, oh my God. You know, and then you have to pretend, oh yeah, I'll watch that for another 3 or 4 hours. That seems like a great idea. You know what I mean? So it could be iconic, like Caillou. That was dear.
Well, Caillou because it's annoying and you won't ever forget it. Yeah, that's one for sure. I won't forget it. Yeah.
Oh, gotta take out all kid shows. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. What did you say, Jay? Sorry,
I didn't reply. I didn't answer yet.
Okay.
I have two. I do have a kid show, which is okay, but
I have one for Canada.
Okay.
What do you? Come on, Mike. What's your?
Yeah, Mike. Here, let me jumpstart you here. Vince says Married with Children.
Yeah, I love that show.
I know that one. Yeah.
I don't know if I have one. There's so many. I don't know if I can think of just one. I don't know if I can narrow one down. Honestly, because I think of Cheers, I think of Taxi, I think of MASH. What else? Three's Company.
How old are you?
Dallas.
Like, yeah, could you have
Perfect
something
Strangers?
Like, oh my God. Could something this century, maybe? He's got like Quantum Leap was pretty good too.
Quantum Leap, yeah. I don't remember Quantum Leap, but yeah, there's so many. The Jeffersons.
Dear God, how old are you?
Yeah,
the Andy Griffith Show. I know. I don't know why they just stick in my head. They just stick in my head. But these songs stick in my head. The Greatest American Hero. I don't know.
That's a good one. Yeah. No,
right?
That's a good one. Yeah.
I'm not gonna sing, but.
Well, yeah.
Anyways,
he's not going to sing, but he'll sing anyway.
I'm humming. I'm do-doing.
He's going to hum it. All of a sudden, he's like, "But I have a comb and a piece of paper, and I'm going to."
Let me grab.
Yeah. Come on. You know this one. Join in whenever you want to.
John had a Canadian one.
Yeah, I Hockey Night in Canada. That was an iconic one, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we're not going to like carry on doing it," and it was like a big scandal. Like, what do you mean? This has been there forever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right. Went to TSN. It was like crazy.
Like, it's weird that you can just buy it off of somebody. Like, oh,
yeah.
Okay,
I'll give you $9.50 US.
What was that? The Raccoons. There we go. That would be my kids.
I can't remember the Raccoons. I can't remember the most iconic. Well, there's if we're talking kids ones, Gummy Bears. Can't forget that one. But Reading Rainbow. That to me.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
Butterfly in the sky. I can fly twice as high. See, like you can't forget that, right? So I was a good singer. See?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then you did mention Perfect Strangers, but I think I'm biased because, that was my show. I love that show growing up.
Belky? And the Happy Dance?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. My cousin Larry Appleton.
Larry Appleton. Hello, new comment from Sterling. Hello, welcome to the podcast. Sterling says, "Hey, love the podcast. Just dropped out of uni and moving back home. Got an interview at my old casino. Sounds like something that I went through. Hoping I get back into the industry. Honestly, best job I ever had. Just got to go over my training." And
good luck, Sterling.
Blue Peter has the best theme song.
The guy's British. I'm guessing he's British because we used to have Blue. Because I'm
Blue Peter. Yeah. It was funny because you were like. John, you're like, "Oh, how do you know Thunderbirds? I'm like, what do you mean? We've had Thunderbirds here.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's actually a cartoon Thunderbirds too. And that's kind of
There
what,
was.
that was really
Well,
cool.
yeah, okay, some British ones for John here. I don't think
Oh.
we'd know them, but
Coronation, you'd know Coronation Street.
Coronation
It's like
Street.
the
Oh
bugle.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
Coronation Street was
The
always
rooftop and the yeah.
the guy playing a bugle or whatever it is, or
Yeah.
the trumpet.
That's
It's
right.
like, and it was weird.
Aye.
There was good talking about Coronation Street. So I started to try and like at one point I was watching like an addict. It was crazy. You know, like the omnibus versions. I was watching. Okay, let's record it, and it'd be like 3 hours on a Sunday and stuff like that. I was like, okay, let's come on, kids, let's all watch it. They're like, I don't want to. They speak funny. There's no subtitles. Why is it so depressing there? Yeah. They boil all their food.
Oh man.
Not all of it, just the stuff we don't want to taste.
Yeah. They're eating jellied eel.
Sorry. Comment Sterling replies, yeah, British. Born and bred. There you go.
Cool,
Good one.
buddy. Where are you from? Yeah, well, I'm from Wales, so I'm from Cardiff. So yeah, good luck in your.
So you don't count?
Oh yeah.
Is this a Gavin and Stacey thing? I don't know how that.
That was a pretty good show. I didn't watch that until I came here. Actually, that was actually really funny. Set in Barry Island, which is not too far from where I'm from in Cardiff.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's pretty funny. I love that show.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry. Actually, I wanna subscribe to BritBox because they got a ton of good shows on there,
Hmm.
and some old ones too, right? With what's his name, Hugh Lowry and
Blackadder was awesome.
Blackadder.
Blackadder,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Blackadder was good. There's a ton of them, but there's a lot of the old British shows that are good. What was the one in the mall or the store? Okay,
That
yeah,
really old one from like the 70s.
Yeah, and they had like levels, and they had like it was
Dear
hilarious.
God,
My
Mike,
parents used to watch it.
I'm starting to be like, oh, Benny Hill, he was a very funny man. Like, I'm starting to think you're like 75 years old, Mike, and you've just lied to us all these years about your age.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Some days I feel like it. Oh, Miami Vice, Airwolf. Oh, come on, there's so many. Oh, I can't pick one.
Sterling
Are you
also
being
says,
served? Thank you.
Are you being served? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sterling says dropped out of Belfast University, but moving back to Nottingham. Speaking of which, why does John remind me of? Is it Aid?
For Bottom and the Young Ones. I love
Bottom
both
and
of
the
those
Ones.
shows. Yeah. Young Ones was kind of cool. Yeah.
The Young
I love
Ones.
Bottom with Rick Mail. Rick Mail? I know he passed away, but yeah, I loved all of those shows. They're so funny.
One comment from Facebook, Mark says the best intro song is Peacemaker. Have you watched Peacemaker?
No.
No?
Oh, I haven't seen
John
that. That's
Cena?
with,
Oh, you
John
guys
Cena,
need to
yeah.
watch that. I don't know if that's the best intro song. It's the best intro, like the video part where he does his dance, as one of the best things I've ever seen. So you need to watch. We watch the intro. It's really funny. It's an actual really, really funny show. I'm surprised. I was surprised how good it was. So
I heard that was supposed to be good. I gotta catch up on a lot of shows.
yeah, there's a lot, right? House of the Dragon, some Lord of the Rings remake. Yeah. What We Do in the Shadows, you need to watch that show because it's ridiculously funny. It's got its moments. So
you got to get onto Peaky Blinders and
Peaky Blinders, yeah.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah,
really
The
good.
Boys.
Yeah.
We watched The Boys too. Yeah, The Boys is good.
The Boys is good, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Look at that.
So can I just say I started watching because I binge because I work at home a lot and I can't I think what it is from like years of working in casinos, I can't work in silence. It becomes more like like creepy and weird to have like no noise around. So I have to have noise around. So I put on all kinds of stuff. And I had the She-Hulk the other day. I put that on. I was like, okay, I'll put that on. It's I can work around it. And I'm like, as I'm going through it, and I'm like, that was a terrible episode. Like the first one, I'm like, that's terrible. Second one, I'm like, that's equally terrible. And the third one, I'm like, this is not a good show. Why am I, even in background noise, they are not even paying attention. I'm like, this is not even good as peripheral TV, let alone like sit and watch it. Like, oh, you should binge watch this.
Switching
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was I try to do that too when I'm like working, but I can't find a good show where it's, the ones that I wanted to watch, like, like I could listen to like Kung Fu Hustle, and I want to show my son that. And then I realized that people die and stuff, and it's probably not a good show to show my kid because he's only 7. But still, like, I was like, I wanted to show him the kung fu parts. But then we started the episode, and it was subtitled, and I'm like, oh, this is Netflix. It's got to have in the English dub. It didn't. So then there's a lot of these shows that I want to show my kid, and then he can't really, he's like, I can't read fast enough, Dad. And I'm like, okay, that's partially my fault, but it's like we should get the English dub.
Do you know what I think would be really cool? I would pay more, to be honest, for Netflix if you could pick the accent of the subtitles. Like the guy was just on. He was like, "Hey, I want him. Oh, it's English. What kind of English accent do you want? Maybe they're from Birmingham, from Dudley." So it would just make a really like crappy show, just funny because I'd be like, "Why are they talking like that?" Like, do you ever see this is another like bad show that I thought was terrible. Do you ever see Monkey? There was that TV show in the 80s, 70s, whatever it was. It was Monkey, and it was a very martial arts, and they Pixie. It was like it was dubbed into English, and it was okay. It was anyway. They made a remake, but all the actors are Australian, so they all speak in English with an Australian accent. Supposed to be Chinese, whatever, in China, but they've all got Australian accent, and it's just it was just weird. It was like, this doesn't seem to work. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was. I think I should be able to. I'd like to pick the accents though. It'd just be funny.
It would be.
Yeah.
That would be good. Yeah.
I would like to see Squid Games in Swedish English.
Yeah. Or turn them they all have Canadian accents, but it's from Newfoundland. Do you know what I mean? If they talk like that, I'd be like, come on, mate. Squid Games as in Newfoundland. That'd be the best. I'd be like, sign me up.
That'd be good.
Yeah, you'd have them speaking in Newfoundland, and then you still have subtitles because you're like, what did that mean? It'd be funny.
Lord Thundering Boy.
It's Lord Thundering Boy. See, Netflix, they're missing out. You lose the subscribers because you haven't got some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What have we done in this episode? Honestly?
I just blew an hour of our life. There you go. What's that about?
Yep.
No, it's fun. I mean, we had a little bit of casino talk in there, which is what we're supposed to be talking about.
Hey, we talked to a new guy from Belfast who's got back into casinos.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
That's cool.
How's it going, buddy?
That's awesome.
Yeah, he needs to subscribe to your channel. Sterling, you need to subscribe to Downton Abbey. Yeah. Exactly. See? That would be so cool. Can you imagine the crown? The crown. Yeah, the crown with Glaswegian, Irish accent, Glaswegian. The Queen talking like that would be like, that's weird. She really talks like that. She's like, oh yeah, what you see on TV, all fake. That's how she normally talks. You know what I mean? It'd be funny.
So funny. Well, thank you for promoting that, John, because I just hit 700. Woohoo!
Hey.
Oh, you can't see it.
No, can't see it.
That's nice. Whatever. It is, honestly. I'm not lying, guys. This was.
I'm going to unsubscribe.
That's okay.
That's okay. We're like, let's get it back to 700.
Yeah, I have 7 emails here. I can just
mid banner.
Yeah, thanks everyone for the support. This is a nice filler episode. We have guests next week and the week after, so stay tuned. Hopefully we didn't lose some of you guys. We talk about people having sex in public. That's great. People having sex in casinos.
That was traumatic. I was like, oh,
sorry, I didn't mean great.
Yeah. That was odd. Yeah. It's
It looked
okay.
like they were
When he-
having fun.
yeah, it's okay. Jay will just delete that statement out of the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. It- I'll just put it on repeat. It's like,
It was great.
Guys, I
It
got
was
another
great.
story. I got another story. Yeah, it's so good. Wow, we're at an hour. Can you believe that? That's crazy.
Yeah, that
I'm
went by
really
fast.
I'm really excited. I think we're going out Friday. We'll talk about this after the episode. But on Saturday, if you are online, I'm hoping to do some lives. So with the group here, and hopefully we can get a little bit more bonus time for everyone. I haven't. We don't make any money off of this. Just to let you know, I spend
No.
money on stuff like this. It's fun. It's fun. Honestly, I love doing it. I don't really care. This is a nice, I don't want to say a hobby, but it's something that I've always wanted to do. And it's really cool, like the people that we've met over the last 2 seasons. And I think we're like getting close to 80 episodes. 80. I know you listening on the podcast, I've only seen like a season and 4 episodes, but we actually have like a lot. So there's a lot of content I know I'll put on. I know we can't put all of it on. I understand that, but there's some pretty funny things that has happened over our last, I don't know how long it's been. Has it been like 3 years now doing this? Oh my God.
Yeah, because we started this pre-COVID, well, just at the start of COVID, where we couldn't go out anywhere. I was like,
Yeah.
because I remember you reached out to me after you and Mike did a couple of episodes or whatever. Like, hey, John, do you want to do this? I'm like, can't go nowhere. Locked in my house. Let's have a beer and have a laugh. Nobody's watching.
Well, yeah, and now we have 3 people watching. So like, hey. one is my phone. Yeah. No, that was what I wanted to do, and I just completely forgot. I'll have to do it next week, but I actually had rewatched like the very first and the second episode because Mike, you were on the first one, John, you were on the second one, and if you listen to like the mic quality and everything, it's so funny. But the stories are still fun. Yeah, pretty much. I was so excited, like the very first episode. I think my mic was like popping and everything because I'm like, I love craps. I love craps. Do you love craps? Let's talk about craps. Well, we didn't talk about craps that long. We ended up talking about everything else after.
Nah.
So. I just have a picture of. Yeah, I have a picture, Mike, of our first episode. Here it is. Look at this. That's how long ago it was.
Wow.
Just kidding, everyone. That was a picture from Vegas. I did post this one, though, Mike, if you remember this.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Yeah, that's us in Scrubs. Working really hard, see?
Yeah.
Let's take that down right away. I don't want to get in trouble.
Working on my lobotomy skills here.
Awesome. All right. Look at that. We've hit an hour already. So just some final shout outs, Mike.
Thanks, Sterling. Thank you very much for popping by. Good to hear from you. Good luck on your job. Daryl, as always. Vince, good chatting with you. Nicola. Everybody else watching, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Mr. John.
This is always fun. I always have a good time doing this. It's such, and talking to people that we don't know and interacting. Like Sterling's back in the UK or Ireland. I'm not sure where he's working in his casino, but good luck, buddy. And subscribe to Jay's channel. You learn a lot of stuff about casinos and how to do stuff. So good luck, and come back on. It's always fun. And so what's that now? It's about 4 o'clock in the morning right now. So back in the UK. So either he's like just pounding it, or he's actually like on break, and he's like, "Yeah, this is a shitty break. I don't like any of these people. I just gotta go and use my phone." Yeah. And they're like, "Why is Sterling so antisocial?"
So Sterling says, "Cheers. I'll keep you guys updated on the job situation. Good luck."
Yeah, good luck, buddy.
Yeah. If it doesn't work out, just come over here. Over the ocean and start working here.
Yeah, lots of open.
Vince says, "Thanks, guys. Love the
Vince,
show.
I love your
love your channel too. You have an amazing channel, and we didn't even talk about gambling. Oh my god. Okay, no, not this episode. Sorry. next one, you guys have to tune in. There's some ridiculous gambling stories. Probably this weekend too. Yeah, we'll see.
Oh,
I like how you guys are all quiet. It's like,
You're like ridiculous gambling story. I was like, I was like, tell me more. But I'm like, we've been on here an hour. Don't tell me anymore. I'll be on for another hour.
yeah. No, let's wait.
I gotta tell you
because-
about this bad beach.
Oh yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm
Oh no. Oh, look at this. Okay, Hawaii crap shooters. Aloha, guys. Aloha.
Aloha.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
I have a crap story, a really good one, but let's wait.
Say it fast because that guy's on yet, so he just
No. Okay, well, no. Well, okay. I was at. This was a long time ago, but I was at Baccarat. So yeah, Baccarat's not here anymore, but I was so hammered this one night because I think we went out to the club and then it's like, oh, we got a couple hours left. So I'm like, okay, let's go. So then I end up going to the club. And seriously, it was like 1:30. So I'm the jerk because here in Edmonton at the time, they closed at 2, right? So I'm like this jerk and I open up the craps table and these guys are like, oh, great, and they did know me, right? And I'm like, okay, you know what? 2A line bet right off the bat, right? Because I was like, I just want to roll the dice with time. It's like, yeah, you're the last shooter of the night. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I was so trashed that when they would pass the dice out, I couldn't reach them. Like I was reaching for them, but then the dice would pass my hand every single time they passed out. And it was so embarrassing. I've never been that wrecked on like ever, like playing. I shouldn't have played. I probably should have got kicked out. And I had this like really long roll. I think there was like 3 minutes left in the night. So everyone was just so like uncomfortable. And right at the end, like I 7 out, and I'm like, okay. And my friend was there. He's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, just take my chips. I'm gonna go. And I ran to like the baccarat table. I placed the bet. The next thing I know, I blacked out. I'm sitting in my friend's car. I don't have anything in my wallet. I have no idea what I bet on baccarat. And he drove me home, and that was it. And nobody told me anything of like what happened that night, like after craps and after baccarat. And I was like, no money.
So you had this 3-minute episode of complete like, who knows? And all of a sudden you went, I had a 25-minute roll and then 3 minutes and it all went.
Oh, dude, man, I've never been that drunk before on a table. Like, honestly, I could not, like, it's that bad that you can't remember something. Like, I know people do that, but I'm like, I don't believe that, right? But to be like at a casino and like not knowing, I have no idea what I bet, right? And nobody told me. Like the next time I came back there, they're like, I don't know. I don't remember. I was just like, okay.
Because at that point of the night, all the dealers are like, oh, just go away. We don't want to deal with the junk. Jay, you're a nice guy when you're sober. You just want to go home. You know what I mean? Like that point, you're like, time out. Just can we get security to kick him out? Just make up a reason.
Oh my God, yeah.
That must have been the night you had 4 beers.
No. No, I know because there was a club. It's called Overtime. We ended up going there, and I had the thing that kills me is a double jack. Every single time.
Double jack will do it.
Double jack was the worst double shot I've ever had, and it's gross, like so gross. So after like one of those, like one, and I had maybe like 4 beers. Yeah, okay, Mike, whatever. But it's like it's whatever. But after that double jack, I was like, no, this is it, right? And my friend's like, let's go to the casino. I'm like, yeah, okay, let's go. It's like no. In my head, it's like, you're so dumb. You do not do this. But then I went, and you should have seen my roll. My roll, like that's probably the hottest roll ever. From like half past like 3 minutes too. I'm like, you give me the dice, and it was just me too, because nobody was like, it was a weekday for sure, right? So I'm like getting these dice, not even setting them. Sometimes I was probably couldn't even grab them, so whatever. whatever. Anyways,
Drunk
my
crap
gambling
stories.
stories are, yeah, that wasn't even the worst. So,
I'll tell you next time. I'll tell you. Remind me of the drunk drunk crap story in Aruba. I'll tell that one.
oh, yeah. Mr. 12 points story. How about that one?
Oh,
12
that
points.
we could do
Who
that one
rolls
too.
12 points in a row and just bets $5 on the line? I don't think we have double odds at the time. So I think you had what, $5
Straight double.
behind?
Yeah, straight
Five,
double,
maybe 10.
probably. Yeah.
After the 6 points, like I think I'll put 10 behind it now. Keep my
I'm just
place
gonna-
bets off.
Yeah, I'm just out of control. I'm going to bet
I
double
go,
odds.
woo!
Keep my 1 unit across off. I've already made 3 points. This is the longest I've ever
Yeah,
gone.
I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, I miss that.
yeah. No,
I'm sorry.
we'll talk about the 12 points too.
Oh yeah, and we're not. Oh, maybe we should take Danny to River Cree on Friday,
Yeah.
just so that all of us can roll. Oh, whatever. Anyways,
Friday?
sorry.
Okay.
Friday
anyway.
night. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, see, I love these guys. Hawaii Crap Shooter, tell us about your crap story. Share crap stories. Yeah, I know you love craps. We need to do our craps live stream because my vision for it is like ready, and I'm so excited for it. I bought like 2 extra cameras for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And I've been hyping it up for so long, and I don't know. That's all I really want to say about it. So
Yeah. We'll get that started. Okay.
okay, let's end this. Are you going to stay on this time, Mike? You always just drop off and screw
Yeah,
off.
no. I'll stay on. I'll talk to you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you. We'll see you. If I don't see you, we will see you. I'm hoping to see you on Saturday, but if you guys can't make it, we'll see you next Wednesday. So take care.
See you guys. Take care.
See ya.
Till next time.